Hey everyone, I am Papagino. I'm here to share an interesting battle I had a few days ago in a wild tournament. This was from round 1 and it was a rough tournament. I'll show you later. Sadly, I didn't do as well as in some other cases. And yeah, the opponents were usually either playing better or had more cards, more variety of cards, strong cards. So it was a little bit tough this time around for me to compete. And this was one of my few wins. And I want to share in particular the thought process, if we can call it that, behind this. Let's quickly look at the rules for this match first. So you can see these were the available elements. So only life and death were not available for play. 27 mana cap. So I would say it's bordering on the lower side of things. And then these were the rules. So we had no legendaries, taking away, and we can talk about it in more depth perhaps later, but taking away from me some strong magic counters, for instance from the water elements such as Bakjira or Genoshanos. So bit of a pity there. There is this synergy with stun, this modifier, heavy hitters. So it's like the stun mechanic, for one thing, is not featured on many cards at the lower levels. So there's not really too many that use it to begin with. And it's still sort of a double-edged sword just because it's very random how it works. So it varies depending on your taste whether you'll use those stun cards or not. I use them sometimes, but not too often. I guess if there is a moment to use them, it's when there's this rule here. We both forgot, but me and my opponent. I guess there is a 5-mana magic attacker from fire that has stun, and there's a similar card for water as well. I think it's from Rift Watchers or something like that. So there are some stun cards, but we didn't use them. And then the other rule is this amplify, which wasn't much of a consideration, at least for how the game went for us. Perhaps I could have used some magic reflect cards, although I think Void was the best choice here with Tusk the White, a much more solid choice to withstand some damage rather than doing damage back. I guess both could have worked, but as you can see from this setup already, you can guess how it's going to go, the battle, and we'll watch it unfold very quickly. But it's not so much about the battle itself that I want to talk about, but what led up to the battle, because again, as I said, the tournament wasn't going too well for me, and I noticed my opponent here was pretty much always going for this Ulrich magic synergy whenever possible in his last few matches. There's a tooltip of sorts before you pick the summoners. Even in tournament battles, it still works, and it shows the last 6 or something matches of the opponent, so you can get an idea of what card they have, what they like to go for, so you can sort of predict what they will try to do. There's a little bit of a mind game, if you will, tied to that. And in this case, I was able to exploit it very easily. Like, my opponent went all out for magic, pretty much just putting all his eggs in one basket. So by doing that, he allowed me to counter him very easily, even though he had stronger wild cards and more cards in general. I was still able to counter him quite easily. So this was a satisfying win for me in a way, in an otherwise underwhelming tournament. But yeah, this is an important aspect, even in tournaments, to make sure not to be too predictable with your last few submissions in a tournament. But okay, let's see what happened exactly during the game. You can see I have Void, so I take half of the magic damage I receive, rounded up, so this card will still do 2. But you can see I picked otherwise many aggressive cards for my backline, and I was able to pretty much take out most of the damage dealers before the situation could really take out get out of control, you know. So it was a pretty straightforward win for me, pretty satisfying win. And yeah, this was one of my few wins in this tournament. Sadly, we can even maybe look at them if it's still available. This was a wild, there we go, wild bronze tournament. I placed 98, so it's not the greatest result. 5 in 6, or sorry, 5 in 11. I didn't even qualify for the second round, which I usually do, because I didn't rent any wild cards. I just wanted to see how it went. So perhaps with some adjustments and better play, I could have done better. I don't know, but it was tough. Maybe in the next one I'll do better. Perhaps we can even look at some of my... oh no, gives a... it gives an error, so it's too much time has passed, I guess. I cannot show you my other battles, but they weren't too impressive or anything. I usually do better than this, but what can you do? Anyway, I hope you found this match still interesting, and this is my submission for the social media challenge over on Hive Engine.